out there in the market for everybody to see? And is he or she making the right decision for the right price? All this is enabled through AI, and it's a market where everybody participates without moving out from where they are. It's a beautiful use of technology, bringing in AI and making it available for the smallest of our economic machines, economic engines. So I really appreciate the initiative taken by SIDBI on this, because as was said earlier in the introductory video that we saw of SIDBI, the entrepreneurs, whoever designed it, I must say, they've done a very good job, very punchy two lines for each of them. I want to grow, but I don't know where the money is, or I don't know how to go purchase a machine. Punchy questions. In a way, I think they have tailor-made it, knowing very well that they're going to launch this program today. This program actually answers those questions. The portal integrates machinery discovery, OEM access, and SIDBI financing support to accelerate MSME capital investment. Now, in this context, it's important for us to understand what government's initiatives have been or government support has been. I'm not going to talk long list of what we've done in the 12 years. We've done a lot in the 12 years. I'm not saying this with a sense of, oh, we've done this, but matter of fact, we needed to do it. We have done some. But during the West Asia crisis, in which situation, context, environment, or current contemporary reality in which we are living, I would want to highlight those activities that we've been undertaking. Actually, these launches are taking place at a time when the global environment is uncertain. All of us recognize that. The West Asia crisis not only is a diplomatic or a geopolitical issue. For businesses and common people, it can mean higher fuel cost, delayed cargo, costlier shipping, shortage of inputs, pressure on working capital, and uncertainty in export orders. Just imagine all of them coming together because of that West Asia crisis. What is the sense of uncertainty that small unit will feel, and will they be in a position to make some kind of a plan? It's a big challenge even for countries, not just for India, for many other countries. And in that context, therefore, what is the depth of challenge for those MSMEs? The approach, therefore, has been and will have to be to protect citizens, support MSMEs, safeguard exporters, keep supply chains moving, and maintain economic stability. And that is why Honorable Prime Minister giving a call to conserve foreign exchange as far as possible is very important in this context. I will dwell on that for a minute because that's led to a lot of narrative all around the country. We need to understand the context in which the PM made this call. It is because of high international crude prices, and the high crude prices are ever changing. It's seriously dynamic. One rate at one point in time, within a week another, within a week another, and so on. Like that it has been for over now 80, 90 days. So high international crude prices and very fluctuating one, high international fertilizer prices, unimaginable increase in the fertilizer prices, high gold prices, that is creating some challenges on the external front. To just put it in context, all these three payments will have to be in foreign exchange. There is no rupee trading there. We should please understand the context of these three Fs. 3 F's: fuel, fertilizer, and foreign exchange. And the foreign exchange is for, in this context, purchase of gold. So we need to understand this, and we also should appreciate that the challenges are more external driven. We must also recognize that India's domestic economic situation remains positive and resilient even today. Therefore, those naysayers who jump into the scenario, as it were, and say, oh my God, you look around yourselves, it's all falling down, it's crumbling, it's going to hit you. There is a section, I would think, of Indians who very quickly want to decry the achievements of our own people. And therefore, for all the good that is being done by the common people themselves, that is forgotten. And a pessimistic, cynical narrative is generated, which is just not right. It's not right is one thing, but it is wrong because it is fear-mongering. India cannot afford fear-mongering. We need to give confidence to the people with our words and with our action. And that's what you're seeing at various levels, and today you're seeing it through SIDBI as well. So India continues with a robust economy. I'll give you data proof for it. GST revenues, which indicate economic activity, have remained strong even after rationalization, the rate rationalization, which happened in September 25. Gross GST collections crossed 22 lakh crores for the year 25-26, rising 8.3%. The gross revenue year on year is 8.3% more, and that's not a small number. In these times of uncertainty, high-frequency indicators also show broad-based domestic demand. I'll give you the data for April 2026, the first month of this financial year. Domestic wholesale tractor sales rose by 26%. Passenger vehicle domestic sales grew by 25%. Three-wheeler sales rose by 32%. Two-wheeler domestic sales increased by 28% year on year. New business premiums of life insurers rose by 39%. So with that, the healthy banking system is also supporting India's growth momentum. For the year 25-26, gross NPAs of public sector banks declined to 1.93%. Credit growth remained broad-based across retail, agriculture, and MSMEs, which grew by 18.1%, 15.5%, and 18.2% respectively. Retail, agriculture, and MSME. Corporate India's fourth quarter, FY26, that is, profit margin scaled highest level in 5 years. Investment activity, which normally all of us used to be talking about, private sector investments, are they slow, are they not happening, used to be a discussion. I have the CII's data. Investment activity saw visible changes. According to CII, India's private sector capital expenditure grew 67% in September 2025 year on year. How many? 67%. So we should recognize that the private sector investments are coming forward. GST collections, as I said, are rising. Formalization is deepening. Infrastructure activity remains steady across the country. The policy response has been very calibrated. And it is calibrated to absorb the shock where citizens and businesses are exposed, support MSMEs and exporters where working capital is under stress, and preserve the underlying growth momentum. During the budget session itself, and that is on 1st February itself, government provided over 1 lakh crore for the Economic Stabilization Fund. That was much before the Strait of Hormuz problem came, just to make sure that we are not caught by some unforeseen events. We had made the provision in the budget, and this was an emergency cushion created before the full impact of the West Asia situation, and so that India could respond quickly to global shocks, supply chain disruptions, and also sudden stress in any sector. For MSME exporters, credit guarantee support has been provided through the Credit Guarantee Scheme for exporters, and collateral support under the Export Promotion Mission is also being provided. This helps small exporters get formal credit even when they do not have enough collateral. It protects export orders, jobs, and foreign exchange earnings. When Indian export cargo, this is very important, when Indian export cargo was affected by disruption in West Asia shipping routes, customs procedures were simplified. Why did they have to be simplified? Exporters were allowed to bring back the cargo, reroute them, or store them, and transship stranded cargo were also that way supported with fewer formalities. All formalities were brought down to the bare minimum. Rerouting, bringing back are all normally very, very painful exercises in terms of the rigors that they have to follow. Fees for amendment or cancellation of export documents were also waived in force majeure cases. This ensured that exporters were not punished for disruptions which were beyond their control. For micro enterprises, a special micro credit card provision has been introduced under the CGT MSc. That's what you saw today being distributed to the beneficiaries. I would have wanted it to be done even earlier because more than 12 months have passed, but never mind, we are seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. Udyam registered micro enterprises can access revolving credit up to 5 lakhs backed by 75% guarantee coverage and without mandatory primary security. So the government has, since the day of Mudra, guided by Prime Minister's absolute commitment to ensure that the smallest of small businesses, which have no collateral strength, will be supported and will continue to be supported. So we didn't just do it for Mudra. We didn't just do it for that Swanidhi scheme. We didn't just do it for Vishwakarma. We are continuing to do it even now for the microcredit which is being given. This is an important step for shopkeepers, small manufacturers, and micro entrepreneurs who need timely working capital. As of March 2026, CGT MSc has approved 1.42 crore number of cumulative guarantees worth 13.67 lakh crores. 1.42 is the number of cumulative guarantees worth 13.6 lakh crores. Guarantee ceiling has been increased from 50 lakh to 10 crores with effect from 1st April 2025. Higher extent of guarantee cover of 90% is available for women entrepreneurs. So, to shield citizens, therefore, and businesses from the steep rise in global crude prices, central excise duty on petrol and diesel was reduced by 10 rupees per litre. The government is estimated to take a revenue impact of over 1 lakh crore on this one score in the year 26-27 because of this one decision. So the burden for a considerable period because of that reduction in excise duty had been taken away from the shoulders of the common people because government has foregone or taken the burden of 1 lakh crore rupees on its shoulders. To ensure domestic availability of fuel, export duty or cess was imposed on exports of petrol, diesel and aviation turbine fuel. So we are not allowing export because it's earning foreign exchange without attending to the domestic market's needs. In order to ensure that, we have imposed a duty on exports. This was done so that domestic consumers, transporters, airlines and businesses get supply stability to protect manufacturing supply chains. Customs duty exemption was granted on specified critical petrochemical products till June 2026, 30th June 2026. This supports sector such as plastic, packaging, textiles, pharmaceuticals, chemicals and automotive components. These are the sectors where many MSMEs are active. So even this support has been given for the sake of MSMEs and their raw material and intermediary product requirement. So to help SCZ units affected by global trade disruptions, a one-time SCZ relief window was also notified. Eligible SCZ manufacturing units were allowed to sell goods into the domestic tariff area at concessional customs duty, helping them utilize capacity and protect production. To support MSMEs, small businesses, traders, suppliers, and service providers facing working capital stress, the Union Cabinet has approved the Emergency Credit Liquidity Guarantee Scheme 5.0. The scheme targets additional credit flow of 2.55 lakh crores. That's the extent of the additional credit flow that we expect. With 100% guarantee coverage for MSMEs, once again, it will help businesses manage liquidity, protect jobs, and sustain supply chains. To keep maritime trade moving, because even that's facing a lot of challenges, the Bharat Maritime Insurance Pool has been launched with a sovereign guarantee of 1.4 billion US dollars, that's about 12,980 crore Indian rupees. This will help ensure continued insurance coverage for Indian linked vessels and cargo movement even during maritime uncertainty. The vision for SIDBI is something which I'd like to speak a minute about. They, after all, entering a very prime age of 37, and therefore, I'm sure they will be energetic enough to carry forward the vision. MSMEs contribute about 35% of manufacturing, 48% of exports, and 31% of GDP with over 7.47 crore entrepreneurs. 7.47 crore entrepreneurs. I use entrepreneurs as entrepreneurs or slash enterprises. And they employ over 32 crore people in this country. In January 2026, the Union Cabinet approved an additional equity support of 5,000 crores to SIDBI. It will enable SIDBI to strengthen its balance sheet and add 25 lakh new MSME beneficiaries by the year 2028. Very clear vision.